Panic spread. Rumors filled the neighborhood. Some blamed criminals, others blamed witchcraft. But Ngozi knew the truth. Whatever bargain Emeka had made was not finished, and now something had come to collect the balance. One stormy night, a knock sounded on the door. Three slow knocks. Ngozi opened it. Standing outside was the old woman from the forest. Her white eyes stared directly into hers. The old woman's word hung in the air. Your husband has paid his own debt, but the family still owes us. Ngozi froze. Behind the old woman stood the shadow of Emeka, not alive, just standing there. The young daughter Chika screamed and hid behind her mother's back. The old woman smiled. 3 more payments remaining. Then she turned and walked away. The shadow of Emeka followed her. The next morning, another tenant disappeared. A young man named Uche. His room was found open. His bed untouched. No sign of struggle. No sign of where he went. Fear spread through the compound. People stopped sitting outside at night. Doors remained locked. Yet every midnight, footsteps could still be heard. Slow footsteps, walking through the compound, as if searching for someone. Then Chika began talking in her sleep. Papa is crying. At first, Ngozi ignored it. But every night, the little girl repeated the same words. Papa said we must find the calabash. One night, Chika sat upright while sleeping. Her eyes remained closed. Her voice sounded strange, not like a child. Find the calabash before the 3rd payment. Then she collapsed back into sleep. Ngozi could no longer ignore the warning. The next morning, she returned to the forest. This time she was not alone. She went there with 2 elderly men from the compound. One was a pastor, the other was the oldest man in the neighborhood. Together they searched until they found the hut. But the hut looked abandoned, broken and empty, as if nobody had lived there for years. Then the oldest man noticed something buried beneath the floor. They dug carefully and found the wooden calabash, the same one Emeka had carried on the night everything began. The moment Ngozi touched it, a voice echoed through the forest. Return what was taken. Suddenly the wind exploded around them, and shadows emerged from every direction. The pastor began praying. The old man stood his ground. Ngozi held the calabash tightly. Then she heard Emeka's voice. Tears filled her eyes. His shadow appeared among the darkness, weak and trapped. The bargain was a lie, he said. I thought I was trading my years for wealth, but every gift opened the door wider. The shadows moved closer. The calabash must be broken, Emeka said. The old woman suddenly appeared, her white eyes burning with rage. The ground trembled. The shadows rushed forward. Ngozi looked at Emeka one last time. Then she lifted the calabash high above her head and smashed it against a stone. A terrible scream filled the forest. The shadows twisted violently. The old woman shrieked as her body turned into dust. The wind roared. Then everything became silent. When Ngozi opened her eyes, the forest was normal again. The shadows were gone. The hut was gone. The old woman was gone. Only Emeka remained, standing beneath the trees, smiling. I can finally rest, he said. Ngozi ran toward him, but before she reached him, his body began to fade. Tell the children I love them. Then he disappeared, like mist in the morning sun, gone forever. Months later, peace returned to the compound. No one disappeared again. No voices called from darkness. There was no mystery money, no magical words, but Ngozi walked honestly. The children helped each other. Slowly, little by little, they rebuilt their lives. One evening, as the family sat together sharing a simple meal. Chika smiled. I saw Papa in my dream. Ngozi looked up. What did he say? The little girl smiled. He said this food tastes better. Why? Chika replied, because nobody paid for it with their life. Ngozi looked at her children and smiled through tears. For the first time, she understood. Some riches leave people poor, and some struggle leaves people rich.